Yeah, let's get to the Oilers Canucks because that series is getting very, very interesting as well. And I don't know where you want to start with it, so I'll just hand it off to you. You're the oil man.
I'll just say that I am not worried about the Edmonton Oilers. I will say that the Oilers have been the better team in this series. At some point, I probably should get worried that they're losing this series, that they needed overtime to even not be down 3-0 in this series. Crazy shit. They've got the better team. I'd like Adam Henrique to not only be back, I'd like him to be good, but this all starts and ends with goaltending. For all the Oilers talk we did this year, including their goaltending is horrible, they had to fire their coach, their goaltending has been good and everything, it took a fucking dumbass bozo radio yapper to raise the point of, what if Stuart Skinner sucks? We didn't even fucking consider it. Stuart Skinner, I fucking love you dearly. He has been the difference in this series. He's been the difference.
You know what makes me really, really angry? And it's I got to this arrival and this conclusion based off of the Maz thing, where Tony Maserati said, Stuart Skinner sucks. And Tony Maserati doesn't watch a ton of hockey. I feel confident in saying that.
The man's a fuck Tony Maz. All right,
He doesn't watch a ton of hockey.
I consider him a friend. Fuck that guy. He's an idiot.
I guarantee he doesn't watch as much Oilers as we have watched over the last year. And we've arrived at Stuart Skinner was good to fine during the regular season, and we had some confidence into him heading into the playoffs. Tony Maserati did not because, and this is my point, people who haven't watched the Oilers probably came into this series or into this playoff run with some preconceived notion about this year's Oilers team that would have been wrong coming into the series. And they end up looking like the smart people because basically all the old tape and all of the old criticisms on the Edmonton Oilers are coming true once again. They're playing like fucking assholes. Their back end is too shaky. Like the defense that they played, it wasn't all Stuart Skinner's fault last night. The first period that they played was horrible defensively, but Stuart Skinner has been pretty bad. They're not getting enough depth scoring, and they're being carried by their stars in their power play. All of that shit, if you haven't watched a single Oilers game this season, that's exactly what your book on the Edmonton Oilers would be, and you would be 100% right in this series.
It's such a great... And this happens. I learned it like as I was getting to the tail end of being on the Bruins beat, where knowing everything can be a bit of a detriment because the people who are zoomed out a little bit and just watch it casually can paint with broader strokes. And a lot of those times, like, they end up getting as good a glimpse as you are, even if you know more and you've seen more. If they're just walking past it and say, this is all it is. Pete and I got in a little spat, whatever, during the, disagree. I like blew my fucking stack and I don't like to do that, and whatever, I'll fucking wear that. The beginning of the Game 2 overtime stream, Pete said, hey, you know what? And it's a point that I generally agree with. Like, didn't have much respect for the Canucks coming into the playoffs, but I gotta say, and I was like, what do you gotta fucking say? And he said, they're kind of kicking ass. And I lost my shit. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? They're kicking ass, blah, blah, blah. My respect for them has definitely gone up because they beat a team. They beat a team that was evenly matched with them in the first round, which a team that's prone to get punched in the mouth doesn't always do that in the playoffs. They've hung around in this series to the point where they're fucking leading it. So good for them. But by and large, the Oilers have, and it was kind of semantics with like what we were.
I didn't want it to be taken as they're kicking the Oilers' ass because they were not doing that. I was just more impressed by Vancouver and what they've shown from a toughness standpoint, from a mental standpoint, for a team that just hasn't been there.
Yeah. Well, let's look at, and I ended up getting into some like fights afterwards with whatnots. So look, we all have fucking bad days. I was very on edge. I was very burnt out. I'd done like 3,000 shows that week.
Especially when the guy who watches zero hockey all year ends up looking smarter than you.
Getting fucking ragdolled by Maz. I was having a bad week, so I just needed something good to happen to me, which is why you also saw the borderline, like, fucking sexual release of the Oilers winning that Game 2 overtime. Shout out all my Oilers guys. Anyway, here is a look at this series between the Oilers and the Canucks, just to explain what I mean when I say the Oilers have
There's a
been
lot
the
of
better
nerd
team.
shit on my screen right now.
A lot of nerd shit. So I got Corsi for percentage, which is just the shot attempts, and I've got the high danger chances and who has had the edge in each of them. Game 1, the Canucks, better team. Canucks had to come back in that third period, but even Oilers people were saying, like Oilers didn't really deserve to win that game. But game 2, Corsi for percentage, 65% in favor of the Oilers, and then you see the high danger chances, 13-6 in favor of the Oilers. Game 3, 72.5% the shot attempts in favor of the Oilers. And
this one should say Oilers, not
yes,
Vancouver.
right. And 18-9 high danger chances in favor of the Oilers. So this should be, at the very least, 2-1 Oilers. Goaltending has just fucking made the difference. Here's the overall glimpse of the series. 62% shot attempts in favor of the Oilers. 12-11 are the goals, though. And the high danger chances favor the Oilers. The expected goals for greatly favor the Oilers. This tells you, though, that for as much as we fucking love the guy, Stu, you've been the difference.
Yeah.
And you've been it hurts me to say it, you've been the fucking problem, man.
Yeah.
The only goaltender worse this postseason, it sounds weird to say because this is a fucking legendary player, has been Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all Stu's fault, obviously, but he is by and large the difference. And shout out Arturs
I was going to say,
Sheilov,
we have to
because
fucking talk about
third
that.
string goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks is on the other side of being the difference. He was really, really good in game 3. But I texted you last night, like, this series is very weird in that I can trick my brain into thinking that it should be 3-0 Canucks, but I can also trick my brain into saying it could be 3-0 Oilers too.
I agree. And this is how a clear mind works. Somehow my disposition is better just because I went outside and fucking touched grass over the weekend, but that's completely fair. The Oilers are overtime away from, and Ian Cole being a fucking douchebag away. Right?
Ian Cole has been very bad.
Oilers could be down 3-0 in this series, which brings us to this question. At what point should Oilers fans or the Oilers be worried? I'm still not worried because of all the nerd shit I just threw up there and because of eye test stuff. The Oilers have to get production from people other than, I'll add fucking Matthias Ekholm to this list off the top of my head because he scored in every game this series. But it can't just be McDavid. It can't just be Draisaitl. And it can't just be Bouchard. It feels like it's only been those guys, with Matthias Ekholm also just scoring goals inexplicably.
Chat pointing out the Oilers hit a lot of posts last night as well.
Do we have it,
one?
Sean?
Leon Draisaitl made that point in his post-game comments, and we have that. Awesome, because here it is.
You guys hit, I think, 4 or 5 goal posts tonight. You generated the chances. How much of that is bearing down, or how much of that is just good goaltending or luck?
Well, post is not good goaltending, but yeah, we can certainly do a better job of bearing down and like I said, capitalizing on our looks.
When in the regular season, when you kind of get goal lead, you play the next team another night and you just move on. In the playoffs, you're going to see this guy again. Do you guys need to kind of go to school on this guy a little bit?
I don't think so. I think we got enough guys in here that can put the puck past him. Shown it so far. He's obviously playing well. Made some big stops for them, but yeah, we just gotta be a little cleaner and look to bear down a little bit more.
Number one, the arrival of Pissy Leon Draisaitl is an incredible development for the postseason. I'm
Couldn't
very
have come
happy
a
about
second
it.
sooner.
And I got to ask the question, behavior grade? Like, I know that we love Pissy Leon, but take your affinity out of it. What is the behavior grade on saying post is not good goaltending?
One, honesty grade. I'll never bullshit a bullshitter. I can't take my affinity out of it. I love that man so much. Posts are not good goaltending. Posts are not good shooting.
That's right. That was my
That is
point.
such a two-way street.
That is such
But
my
I guess
point.
it was being presented though of like, hey, is this just good goaltending? I think that. Oh man, I would have loved to see if the reporter followed up with that with like, well, it's also not good shooting.
I would have loved a follow up.
That's my favorite pissy Leon thing, though, because he'll also just do it. So, I don't like that. I really do like the behavior, though, on the, hey, do you got to crack the books on this guy? It's like, sweetie, I'm fucking Leon Draisaitl. I don't got to crack the books on shit.
When
I just
you
got to
see me
fucking
shoot.
stand behind the goal line and somehow decide to score.
The fact that he's still getting away with that is unbelievable.
He is so fucking good. But I'm glad that you mentioned Artur Shilovs because we cannot give him enough respect. Like, I seriously fucking bow to that man because he's part of the reason this is 2-1. I'm still not really worried, though. If I'm the Oilers, they're so much better than the Canucks. And yeah, maybe it's because I'm a little extra invested in this because I now have Canucks fans going at me on Twitter. I see what people talk about with the toxic fan bases. Oilers fans, I'm watching you as well. Be nice. Don't fucking say slurs. Don't say bad things.
You're saying
Not slurs, but there was a video. There was a video of a Oilers fan yelling at Nikita Zadorov, which
Not the guy I'd yell at.
don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
not
yell
the
at
guy I would
that.
yell at.
But they're
That
yelling
guy's
stuff in
so
different
fucking
languages,
scary.
and he's just fucking staring him down like Michael Myers. And I'm like, I don't fucking like this guy being a part of all this.
Nikita Zadorov, unbelievable postseason so far, and what a scary human being. Been scary for a while, but it looks like he doesn't even fit into his hockey uniform and his hockey helmet. His neck is so wide, it's outrageous.
I don't like difference maker Nikita Zadorov.
Of
He's
course
been a
you don't
fucking-
because you're an Oilers man.
He's been a difference maker, but you know what? I believe would it be his defensive partner? Who does Carson Soucy play with? He's on the second pairing.
Well, famously,
not
they,
be-
they combined for a nice little tandem at the end of
Oh
last
yeah,
night's
so
game.
they were out there together. So yeah, they were, those two are probably thick as thieves. Let me quickly pull up.
Susie's line mate is Tyler Myers or pair.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Parker.
The first pair is it Hughes? Let's see.
Hughes and Hronek, and then it's Susie Myers. and
Yeah,
then
Zadorov is with Cole because he's got to watch that.
He's gotta watch that ass.
He's got to.
He's gotta babysit that
Right,
guy.
he's got to babysit that fucking loser. Just kidding. Love you, Ian Cole. Love everybody in this.
You already
series.
called him a douchebag. I don't think you can walk back the calling him a loser.
What did I call? I called Goldie fuckface.
Well, it was a
like-
Dane Cook reference.
It was Dane Cook. I did. Did you see
calling
the-
somebody fuckface and then being like, "Oh no, you don't be offended. It's a Dane Cook reference."
when I brought up that Paul Maurice and Greg Wyshynski were getting into the Dane Cook-off?
yeah,
Dane Cook-off. The chat was on it right away, saying, "Drop the slur, say it." Carson Soucy. What?
I wanted before we move off of that. Do you start Stuart Skinner?
I was. I didn't want to just have that topic in the show, just because I don't know my fucking answer.
Do you
man.
see Biz suggested that they
Yes.
Jack
call up
Campbell?
Jack yesterday?
Honestly,
I heard
Why
them
not?
talking about. I heard them talking about it on 32 Thoughts this morning, and they were like, "Well, he's played in the AHL all year long," and the response was, "You know who else has played in the AHL all year long?
Yeah.
Artur Shilovs."
Beat him at their own game.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I've gone back and forth on it all morning. I think I start Pickard.
Yep.
In game
I definitely
4.
do. I definitely do. Pickard was good for them during the regular season.
Yeah, they beat good
And-
teams with Calvin Pickard.
And you just need average goaltending. You don't need Calvin Pickard to be the guy.
yes,
Just fucking don't be an asshole.
if you get playoff or if you get postseason replacement goalie performance out of Calvin Pickard, baby, you got a stew going. I can't say stew because of fucking Skinner. It breaks my heart. It's very sad, but he has been detrimental. And the stats are there. The expected goals for, he has allowed, I think, 6 more goals than expected, which generally like goalies are supposed to be like a little above. He's allowed again.
I mean, you're certainly not supposed to be at 5 or 6 in 3 games.
But I'll tell you what, ends to a means to an end, whatever. He did make a nice sacrifice. The goal that he allowed in the second period of game 2, I'm sorry, led to a nice plea from Henrik Lundqvist getting on the reverse VH. It was, you see it go in and you're like, man, somewhere Petey's dying, losing his mind. But the cause is spreading because finally everybody is now, like every casual hockey fan now understands, what the fuck are you doing? Stand up. Just bad goaltending from Stuart Skinner, though. And it hurts me because I really like that player and I love my Oil guys. But I think, yes, in game 4, you have to fucking start your backup because he is the difference in this series. Very frustrating. Carson Soucy at the end of the game. Connor McDavid gives him a little slash. Nikita Zadorov throws a cross check at McDavid's back. And as McDavid is falling down, an intended, I would say, probably chestal cross check from Carson Soucy gets McDavid in either like the chin or the throat. Like, best case, you got him in the face. Worst case, you got him in the throat. He is getting a hearing for it. It's going to be on the phone, so it will be fewer than 5 games. I don't think that we would think he'd get 5 games, but
1 maximum. Like
I think 1.
Most of the time when you get a hearing, you're probably getting suspended. Very rarely do you see a guy get a hearing and walk away with just a fine or whatever it is. I don't think that he deserves a game. I'll be honest. I know that I know that it happened after the game. I know that it's hard to get away with cross-checking Connor McDavid in the face, but the 2 things that I look at is that he slashed first, and I don't think that he gets him in the face unless Zadorov gives him a little cross-check and gets him going down to the ice.
It's bad and it's unfortunate, but you said something during that. As you said it, I pointed. Sean's ears perked up. I think that you said the magic words.
Can't cross-check Connor McDavid in the
face.
face.
McDavid. You can't fucking get McDavid anywhere, really, but you got him in the fucking face. Bad look. Everybody's slowing it down. TNT's doing a half hour on it. Buddy, sorry. Gotta go.
I know. I get it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It seems very unfortunate and unfair to Carson Soucy.
But we're all realists here. Not all players and not all situations are treated the same. And if you're the fucking
Sam Bennett,
my cousin
got
Vinny,
away with a rabbit punch to the face of the Bruins captain.
Right, but they might have been doing the thing that you're not supposed to do. It was against Brad Marchand though,
and it was also during play.
This is the fucking my cousin Vinny thing, buddy. You're in the South and you killed a good old boy. Like you're in a series against the fucking Edmonton Oilers and you got Connor McDavid in the face with everybody watching. Sorry.
I think the worst thing that for Carson Soucy is that it happened after the game because number one, like you can't chalk it up to being in the heat of the moment or during gameplay, and you can't penalize it effectively in game. Like if he had gotten a 2-minute minor for cross-checking or whatever, check to head, whatever what would have been in the moment, I don't think there's supplemental discipline. But because it happened at the very end of the game and it effectively went unpunished, I think he's going to end up getting a game. And it should be noted, too, Nikita Zadorov got suspended $5,000.
Somebody asked, hey, DJ, while you're busting out the numbers, what's Stu Skinner's save percentage this series? Don't even need to look it up. I have it fucking burned into my brain. We do have a fucking full screen from Sean. God bless you. 793 in the second round. Horrible behavior. And the first 2 stats you see there, and I understand that this is also an audio medium for some people, so I'll walk you through it. We've got a full screen with Stu Skinner under Chris Knobloch. Since Chris Knobloch took over, he has a .912 save percentage in 50 games. First round against the Kings was a little shaky in game 2, but by and large looked good, and I felt good about my Stu Skinner Conn Smythe DFS. .910, and then second round against the Canucks, 793 save percentage in 3 games. He has been bad. So again, said it a million times, that's the difference. And I'm now left to ask this question. Did that Canucks fan, the kid with the horrible behavior, hashtag where were the parents, did he know something?
Oh, Jack Campbell kid? Fuck
Jack Campbell. Oh,
that would be, I didn't even think about that. That would be the best possible outcome.
Did that kid put
What
a
did
hex
he know?
on Stu Skinner?
What'd you say?
Did that kid put a hex on Stu Skinner by not even mentioning his name?
The question is if they end up with Jack Campbell, is Jack Campbell going to have superpowers? Because then he might have screwed himself.
No, man. This series, you say something bad against the about an Oilers goaltender, you will be proven right. I look at that kid and Tony Maz are like my Cedric and Bob from Seinfeld. You know those guys?
Yeah.
The fucking street
The
toughs?
ribbon? Yeah.
Those fucking guys, man. Maz and that kid. I see those two walking down the street. I run the other way.